Good morning, Algebra 1 class. Okay, so today is April the 2nd, and we are doing lesson 4 and Trinomials part 2. But before we get started today, I got a joke for you. So what do you call friends who love math? Got the answer? Here it is. Algebros. Oh, that's so funny. Now you're ready for our lesson. Okay, so here we go. Well, let me remind you, we were doing trinomials yesterday, and there were 3 words that help you know what to do when you're factoring a trinomial. It's factor, skip, and then factor. So today's lesson is very close to yesterday's lessons, but the difference is at the end we have a plus sign today, where yesterday we had a minus sign at the end. Okay, so here it goes. Example 1. You've got x squared minus 9x plus 14. Okay, there is no GCF. We're going to drop down 2 parentheses. I'm going to make my list for 14. So I'm going to start with 1, and I'm going to go 1 times 14. Then I'm going to go to 2. And then 2 times 7, and that's all the factors of 14. Now I'm ready to factor. So how do you factor x squared? That would be x times x. Skip over the middle, the sign, the number, and the variable. Okay, now fix to slow down for this, because this is a new part. You've got a plus sign. Okay, now think about this. Yesterday was a minus, and it meant different. So what does a plus sign mean? What's the opposite of different? Same. So these signs right here are going to be the same kind of signs. Okay, but is it going to be 2 pluses? Or is it going to be 2 minuses? Because you got 2 choices there. This is how you know which one to pick. Okay, so this plus sign means they're going to be the same kind of signs. And it could be plus plus or minus minus. So you have to look back to see which sign you're going to pick. Same signs is what that plus sign means. But you have to do what? You have to look back. And now you know that you're picking 2 minuses. So a minus here and a minus there. Now, you can do this in your head. 2 numbers that multiply give you 14. But when you add them, it's going to give you that middle number of 9. Well, when you add 14 and 1, you get 15. Well, that's not 9. But when you add a 7 and a 2, that's going to give you 9. So I'm going to put the 2 here, and I'm going to put the 7 here. And then I'm going to check that to see if it works. How did we check that yesterday? Inside, outside of foil. So on the inside, you got negative 2x. So negative 2x. On the outside, you got x and a negative 7. So put the sign first, then the number, then the variable. So that's going to be negative 7x. That adds to give you negative 9x, which is what you have in the middle. So that's how you know it's right. Okay, now, let me do example 2 make sure that this is making sense. Now today on your homework, I have a combination of problems. I've got this plus a little bit more. Okay, so example 2 is x squared plus 16x plus 28. Okay, so it's a trinomial. It doesn't have a GCF. Okay, so we're going to do what? Factor, skip, factor. Made up those 3 words because it helps you remember what to do. We're going to open up 2 parentheses. How many? 2 sets of parentheses. We're going to make a list with 28. Start with 1 and go in order. So the first one is 1 times 28. 2 times what? 14. 3 will not divide into 28 evenly. So skip the 3. Go to 4. 4 times 7. And that's all your factors of 28. But one of them will add to give you that middle number. Now, yesterday we subtracted. Well, that's because there was a minus at the end. So the signs were different. When the signs are different, you subtract. Today there's an addition sign. So the signs are going to be the same. What do you do when the signs are the same? You add them. That's the difference. Okay, so I'm going to go factor. So x squared is x times x. There's a times sign in the middle that you don't see, but you know it's there. Skip over the middle. How do you factor a plus sign? I'll say this again. A plus sign means what? The word is same. Okay? What's a plus sign mean? Same. But when you have same, you have 2 choices. What are the 2 choices? Plus plus or minus minus. So you have to do what to know which one to pick? You have to look back. So anytime you have same signs, you get to look back. They go together. Oh, this one's got a plus sign there. So that's how you know that you're putting plus plus. 2 numbers that multiply give you 28, but when you add them, give you 16. It's like you're reading backwards. And you can see it. It's this one right here. 2 times 14. That adds to give you 16. So the 2 comes first, so I'm going to put it first. The 14 comes second, so I'm going to put it second. And then I'm going to check it. What do you get on the inside? Positive 2x. So I'm going to write that down. What do you get on the outside? Positive 14x. That adds to give you 16x, which matches the middle. Huh? It's making sense. Okay, I've got one more. This one is going to have a GCF in it. I don't want you to forget what we've learned this week. So to go back over that again. You can see this has a GCF because of what? Well, because all numbers are what kind of numbers? They're all even. So you know at least 2 will go into it because it's an even number. So you're going to take out a 2. You're going to put it in front of your problem. Smallest exponent on your variables. N squared, n to the first power, or no n's. You pick no n's. What does that mean? It means you don't write down any n's. Open a parentheses. Now remember, GCF only has 1 set of parentheses. 2 are going to 2 one time. I'm not going to write that down. Bring down n squared. Minus 2 are going to 20 10 times. Bring down your n. 2 are going to 18 9 times. Okay, now here we go. Ooh, that's a trinomial. See if it factors. See if it keeps going. So bring down the 2 and bring down 2 sets of parentheses. N squared is n times n. Skip over the middle. You get to a plus sign. That means a plus sign means same. And you have to do what? You have to look back. This sign right here is a minus, so that's how you know that your answer is going to have minuses in them. I forgot to make my list, but it's not too late. I can do it right now. 1 times 9, 3 times 3. Two numbers that when you multiply them give you 9, but when you add them, it gives you 10. And you can see that you need that 1 times 9. So you put the 1 here and the 9 here. Now let's check it. On the inside, negative 1n. On the outside, negative 9n. That adds to give me negative 10n. That matches the middle. Very good. You're doing great. All right. I got you some homework ready, of course. And so I'm going to try and see if you can. Oh, yeah. Okay, when you're labeling this stuff, make sure your name is on your paper, the date that I have on the lesson, and what lesson it is. Lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4. I do have something for you tomorrow. Okay, now I'm going to scroll up a little bit so you can see the rest of the problems. I'm going to try to call out the people who have turned in work. Colin Key, Luke King, Bella, Leighton Rogers. I'm thinking who else it is. Brooke Weems. Seems like there's one more person. And if you haven't turned anything into me, this is what you do. You take a picture of it and you send it to my phone number. All right. Okay, let me check my list one more time to see who has turned in their work. Oh, yeah, I have it right here. Leighton, Brooke, Luke, Bella, Colin, and Griffin. Thank you so much for turning in your work. Hey, listen, y'all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.